Well, good evening from the RAC Arena in Perth for our inaugural United Cup. It's day 5 of our live coverage, and two teams who are convincing winners in their opening encounters are about to lock horns. It's Team France, represented by that man Arthur Rinderknech, who is the #1 singles player, and he'll be taking on Borna Coric of Croatia.
RAC Arena, it's time for men's singles. Let's bring our two teams out onto the court. Our first team representing Croatia. Alongside team captain Eva Majoli, we welcome to the court Borna Coric. And their opponents this evening, representing France. Alongside team captain Edouard Roger Vassilin, please welcome to the court Arthur Rinderknech.
So this could be a good one. Two players who have played one match already, and both were victors. That was against Francisco Cerundolo of Argentina, both beating him in straight sets. So Coric's matchup with him was, perhaps I think it's fair to say, a little tougher. Once the Argentine had a match under his belt, he certainly looked sharper. But Rinderknech here, pictured in the screen, was too good, didn't give him any rhythm, denied the Argentine any sort of comfort, and his big imposing game was just too hot to handle. Different proposition tonight though. Borna Coric has seen it all.
And Borna, this is Marcus. Hi. Okay, just a few things. Live VLC, so close calls will be shown automatically. 25 seconds between points. If you go for the towels, please keep an extra eye on the time. If you could take the blue towel boxes, use the yellow ones, please. Yellow, yeah. Apart from that, when the warm-up is finished, you have 1 minute to be ready for play. I just want to remind you. Any questions? No? All right. Well, over to you, Marcus. Okay, so heads has been called. Perfect. And that is heads?
I'm going to receive.
Receive.
Yeah.
Okay. Then just face this way for a quick photo. There, I can take that coin.
Tell you what, Marcus is a cool customer. He knew exactly how the protocols were about to unfold. Good revolutions on the toss. He has set the tone for this one. And my boss alongside me is the legend that is John Fitzgerald. Fitzy, it's always a privilege, my friend.
No, Robbie, you're always way too kind to me. You have to back off a little bit on that, but I appreciate it and enjoy every moment up here with you, mate. It's really a privilege to watch some of these matches unfold this week, and this is an interesting one for me. You've got some contrasting styles here. Borna Coric has proven that he's a wonderful player, and coming back after that setback, that injury that contributed to him being out of the game for an extended period of time. And I think for him, he's really hitting his form now, isn't he? After that big win at Cincinnati, that was incredible last year. But he's up against a youngster here who has a different style of game, someone who really is starting to believe in himself, and he's an imposing figure.
Yeah, he really is. Just to remind the folks at home who Coric beat en route to winning in Cincinnati. He beat Musetti, Nadal, Roberto Bautista Agut, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Cameron Norrie, Steph Tsitsipas, and he really came into the US summer with no semblance of form. So it puts it into perspective. But since then, it's been a shot into the main vein. Arthur Rinderknech, 27 years of age. He's another one of these guys that's tall, moves so very well, and he's had a pretty solid season back in 2022. As I just put up my notes and remind myself of some of the exploits that he had. Of course, one of those guys who plays good one-strike tennis. He started the year in Adelaide, that's right, making the finals. Remember, he lost to Tanasi Kokonakis in the Adelaide event. He's got 4 challenger titles to his credit. Semi-finalist in Doha, Indian Wells and Miami, won a match. And of course, post-US Open, that's when he played some of his best tennis.
2 minutes.
He won 9 matches at tour level, did the Frenchman. So I think it's fair to say, Fitzy, 2022 was a season where he was just really getting used to tour life and playing there on a regular basis.
Yeah, because he spent so much time in the US college system with our great friend Steve Denton,
Yes.
The Bull, as we used to affectionately know him as. If he's listening, I hope he is. Hello, g'day to you, Bull. But he spent a lot of time, did Rinderknech, with Steve Denton at Texas A&M, and at 27, he's a young 27. It doesn't sound super young for a tennis player these modern days, but he's younger than most at that age because he hasn't had the ATP Tour experience yet, and he's finding his feet and believing in himself now. So yes, 27 years of age, but he can play for another 10 years if his body holds up. So I like his game too. He's got an all-court game, and as Tsitsipas did today, when he served incredibly well at the right times. The other evening, Rinderknech also did the same thing.
He absolutely did.
So his serve wasn't outstanding in that first match, Robbie, but when he needed to, it became very, very effective. He's got a good serve. He's a big, tall boy, and I like his all-court game. So this is a good matchup. 2 contrasting styles, which in our great game of tennis produces, really a good spectacle.
I was just having a look at Arthur's record against top 20 opposition. He had 4 wins last season. But finished the year quite well in Tel Aviv. He beat Diego Schwartzman, Pablo Carreño Bustos, always a tough out. And so was Marin Cilic. And guess what? He beat all of those guys 7-6 in the third.
Yeah, so he's got belief in himself if you start doing that, and they're good wins.
And a warm.
They certainly are. So again, just getting used to being on the big stage at the biggest of events against top players. It takes some getting used to because there's no breathing room. Every round is tough.
Yeah. Well, I think it's fair to say on paper here, you'd have to start with Coric as being a slight, ever so slight favourite. But you don't always play against a style like Arthur has.
Yes.
He's a net rusher at times. He can rally at the back of the court very safely, but he's got that extra bonus of a big serve when he needs it, and his all-court game is very effective. So he'll come in probably a bit more than Coric, you would expect. It's a bit of a contrast in styles, so it'd be interesting to see how they match up.
Yeah, this man ranked number 44 in the world, taking on Borna Coric, who's currently at 26.
Of Team France to serve.
It's Team France against Team Croatia. Oh, I like it a lot. I'll tell you who I also like a lot is Mark Philippoussis, who was actually courtside.
You have a soft spot for him, don't you?
I mean, he's a good bloke, isn't he?
Oh, you guys are just too kind.
Mark, what are your expectations in this matchup?
Love 30.
Look, I believe that Borna's also a very slight favourite here. I think maybe he might be a little too solid. I mean, look at that first point, right? Nice serve out wide, just a very smart block down the line. I just feel like Borna's just going to be a little too solid for him today.
he battled well in that second set in his opening match against Cerundolo. He was down a break on 2 occasions. He was on the brink of going down double break.
Well, he's nothing if he's not a great competitor.
Yeah. Well, that is the perfect start.
First game.
Gives you nothing for free, this guy.
Well, that perfect start depends on whether you're from the red corner or the blue corner. Not for Arthur Rinderknech, is it? That's a bit of a loose start. The double fault didn't help, but Coric did everything right there, didn't he, in the opening game? Made him play, made no unforced errors, and he looks up and about.
I mean, there's a pep in a step. You can see how quickly he's walking. Means business this evening.
Guys, I think one thing is very clear. If Arthur has a chance tonight, he's going to have to get a high percentage of first serves. And that first game, that was not one, didn't make one. You know, I think his game is led by that first serve. And if he gets it going, he builds confidence in his returns. But it's going to be a very long, tough night for him if he doesn't get that percentage up.
He made a bit of a goose at me because I just said he served so well when it mattered the other night, which he did, but but not in that first game. Probably a few opening nerves, though. He's playing against a very much a world-class player here tonight in Coric. He needs to win a point quickly here.
13.
It's quite a clever play from Coric. Something that Andy Murray used to do quite well. Just that forehand down the line. He hits it high, not necessarily hard, to the backhand side of his opponents, who then generally play to his strength,
14.
which is his backhand. Technically a lot more sound than the forehand.
Gee, this is called starting out of the blocks very quickly. Gee, perfect start. He's oozing confidence, isn't he? Coric.
Team Croatia leads 2 games to
It's amazing once you've got one match under your belt, and especially when it's a W. I often wonder, I don't know if either of you guys had any major injury. He was out for a year. Whether you have a new appreciation for the sport when you come back.
I think so.
Different perspective on it.
Look, if you sort of lose the sport in any sense for a period of time, yes, you can really miss it and then appreciate it even more when you come back. I'm sure he does.
Oh, he set it up beautifully. And I'm not saying he didn't appreciate it beforehand, but maybe sometimes you just take it for granted. You know, this guy was a child prodigy, him and Sasha Zverev. I remember them playing at Cincinnati. They must have been about 17 and 18 respectively. He won 7-6 in the third, and we were wondering where they're going to go from here.
Well, he's on the board. He's Rinderknech.
13.
That'll settle his nerves a little bit, I think. that's the style he showed us the other evening.
40
Whenever there was a short ball on that forehand, he usually hit it off to the right-hander's backhand and came in, and he's an imposing figure. He's just starting to find his feet now in the third game. Yep,
Game,
on the board, nicely.
Team Croatia leads 2-1.
So 2-1 opening set. And I think if you're Rinderknech, you just got to remind yourself it's only one break, even though you haven't won a point. You've always got to play those mental games, haven't you?
Sve okej.
He looks like he's the ultimate professional, doesn't he? He doesn't leave a stone unturned.
Di su svi?
You know, before the match, he's in the corridor doing
Iza
his
tebe.
plyometrics and his warm-up, crossing every T, dotting every I.
I've enjoyed Eva Maioli as a captain.
Yeah, she's a popular figure, isn't she? Like,
Yeah.
on the court, but certainly off it. And
Time.
I've only sort of known her a little bit in recent years, but gee, what a great character she is and personality. Friendly. Yeah, she brings a lot to the table for the sport. Well, I like that. Rinderknech stepping in there. So we commonly call that taking a bit of time away from the opponent, but I think that term's overused a little bit, actually. But he took the ball inside the baseline and looked to move forward, something different, and that puts a seed of doubt into a server when he has to hit another second serve at a tight stage.
He can do whatever he wants with that backhand.
Well, Mark was talking the other day when he was playing about how accurate that two-hander is, especially down the line, and that's a difficult shot to hit unless you really have control of your technique, and he does. He threads a needle with it so often. Got to say that Coric is favourite from the back of the court, I think. I mean, as good as Rinderknech is with his ground strokes, I think logic says that the Croatian from the back is going to be even more solid.
I mean, he took that last forehand early.
I think he's got to use that play mark, doesn't he? Try to hit that early and go in.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking maybe after maybe after one of those second serve returns coming behind the backhand, because it's a solid return, but then he just runs straight back. You know, almost to the Perth sign after a great return in his in defense. But like you said, the longer these points go, the more in favour of Coric they will be.
And just speaking of their serves, guys, have a look at the contact point. The yellow balls are Rinderknech. How far in front of him he throws that ball toss. It's uncanny. There's not many players on tour that I see make contact with their first serves that far in the court. And in the opening service game, the toss was so far forward. I think that's one of the reasons he was missing so many first serves. To keep an eye on it, he reaches a lot for it. It's his technique. Not sure it's ideal.
It's a bit of a throwback, you know, in the olden days, which I remember very well, Robbie. You know, there was a lot of serve volleys, and so the ball toss would be further in front. These days, not so.
Mark, you've actually got a good look at it. Being right in line with the baseline, you get the feeling that he's almost reaching. I almost think he's going to catch it every time he throws it.
Yeah, I've got a good angle right here, but let me tell you, it is far in front, and it is a big guy. I am a little surprised, but I must say, he's got really nice body transfer into the serve.
Yeah, I think it's a simple, beautiful action, really, and the weight transference does go through. He goes up. Pretty darn good.
Yep.
I would have paid money for that.
Oh, and then some.
And good change-up, too. I love that play from him. And he should. That's how he should play. Not all the time, just for something different. A few times a set, at least.
Yeah, he's got to keep Coric off balance, right? He can't let him get in a groove from that baseline, especially just thinking he can punch the ball back. With that weapon of his as a first serve, he does have to mix it up at times.
That is a nightmare shot to deal with, isn't it? That short slice. It's not a drop shot.
No, that one stayed so low. I'm surprised he didn't just try and slice it there. But, you know, going back on that serve and volley, you might as well try to, you know, do that a couple of times, because he's halfway there, guys, with that ball toss.
You know, because he did serve and volley on the third point of this game, it's in the mind of Coric now that he might do it again. So sometimes that affects the return. So Coric then drops the ball short, thinking he might serve and volley that last point as well, and he chips it short, and then Rinderknech can come in with a forehand after that. So. Oh, wow. What a shot. His backhand's on fire. He's threading the needle. But I think that serve and volley has an effect on an opposition. So it's not just about winning that one point. It's about building some doubt and some, you know, some indecision from the returner by using the serve and volley every now and then. It's important. But Coric can't miss from the back of the court so far. He's solid as a rock, isn't he?
Yeah, guys, I'm getting flashbacks here from Cincinnati. That's what he was doing all week.
Yeah, just for reference, Mark was in the Tsitsipas box in the finals there in Cincinnati. Of course, it was Stefanos that Borna beat in that final. I think he's still looking for his first outdoor hard court title as Steph, isn't he? That'll work a treat.
He's got some game, has Rinderknech. He's got variety.
Use.
And he's certainly got some power and feel as well. This is an excellent choice. He's got his opponent so deep. Great stuff. Moved well inside the baseline, which closes the time frame down for his opponent to recover. Excellent.
Advantage Team France.
This could be a very important hold in the context of this first set.
Game Team France.
Saves the break points.
Team Croatia leads 3 games to
Avoids
2.
the double break. Oh, there's plenty of beautiful beaches in this neck of the woods. That's Cable Beach and Broome. That is spectacular. Different colours of blue, just out of this world. And then a little closer to the city centre is Cottesloe. There it is, beautiful vibe with some cafes in and around there. Grab yourself a nice coffee early in the morning, go for a walk on the beach, have a swim, and then maybe if you do it in the late evening, grab yourself a nice bit of amber fortification just to enjoy the rest of the evening. It's been a stellar day here in Perth. It's been warm.
Time.
Sebastian Valette is Arthur's coach. There he is on the right. Team captain, Edward Roger Vasselin on the left. It's always an interesting situation for me when a player's been on the brink of going up a double break. The set is almost done, certainly in the men's game, with how well so many of them serve, but suddenly you don't get the double break. How does that affect you in your very next service game?
See, on that return, guys, he moved so close. I thought, you know, not a bad return, but then just ran backwards and put himself out of position.
Oh, that is one heck of a hopper.
13.
Yeah, he's oozing confidence, is Coric, to me. He's found his range. He likes these conditions. He had a good win the other night and played well, and now he's stepped it up a notch. Second serve, prepared to go for that early in the match. So serving well and hardly missing a ground stroke so far. And he's one of those guys, when you go out there against him, you know you have to put in for an extended period of time. If you're going to have a chance to beat Coric, there's going to be some pain involved. So it can be mentally challenging as well for the guy down the other end.
Well, he is spreading the court magnificently, sending Rinderknech from coast to coast here.
4 games to 2.
He has hardly put a foot wrong. Likes to change his racket before the change of balls. One more game with the old balls.
Why would he change now and not in a game's time when the balls are less fluffy?
He probably doesn't. He probably likes to have a game with the new racket before he serves.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Because generally players do this because the tension is lessened a little bit after playing 6 games and a warm-up. And so when they are aware that they're going to get new balls and they're faster through the air, they go for a new restring, which has a little bit more tension in it, so they can control that new ball. But he's playing here with balls that are in their oldest game right now with a new restring.
I tell you what, there was nothing wrong with that last racket he was using for the past 6 games. I don't know why he changed.
Yeah,
he's getting a bit funny, Flip, isn't he? He's right. That's the first ball I think he's missed with the new restring. So he has his reasons, I'm sure. Mark's down there on the side of the court sitting down, but I think he might need to start standing up. I mean, stand-up comedy might be part of his forte as the future wears on. Come on, Flipper, stand up.
he's been on fire this week.
You guys just bring the best out of me. That's what it is.
Well, it could be the worst.
I just feel happy around you guys.
That's his style. That suits him. If you're playing against him and you drop one short on that forehand wing, you better be prepared to defend because he can come in quickly off that.
Yeah, guys, I mean, look, that was a great play, but that's something that he needs to do. He needs to push the envelope a little bit, maybe a little bit more about outside of his comfort zone and press at stages because he cannot afford to sit back in the baseline with Coric, especially the way he's hitting the ball.
40-15.
Yeah, Coric has the slight edge, doesn't he? And that refers to every point where they're both locked in the baseline. He's got the slight edge. So you've got to shorten the points if you're Rinderknech, come in a bit more, take some risks, and serve well. That helps.
Yeah, that's been a big uptick from his opening service game. A lot more meaningful first serves, but he's still playing catch-up for Team France, who are down 4-3. What's he got there?
Is that a date?
It is.
Who else eats dates at the change of ends, Robbie?
Novak.
I was going to say Djokovic, yes.
Yeah, and they're a special brand of date or type of date. You know what they're called for a bonus point?
No, but are they totally natural? Like, are they like you like your tea?
Organic.
Are they organic
it.
dates?
I think they are. Medjool. Medjool dates, the best dates. And dates are the best form of natural sugar, apparently, for the body. Good on the glycemic index. Well, if you're joining us for the first time this evening from Perth, it's a warm welcome from Mark Philippoussis, John Fitzgerald and myself, Rob Koenig.
And I think a second player on court is eating a date, and Robbie is an expert in the date field.
I don't know about that. It's got to be the Medjools, right? Donna Vekic put Team Croatia out to a 1-love lead, bottom right of your screen. That's where we keep the tie score. Had a good win in straight sets of Elise Cornet in the match before this one.
He didn't swap back to that former restring then, did he?
15.
I tell you what, looking at the quality of this ground stroking, I think he might have.
Well, he didn't miss a ball with his first restring, and I think missed one with this new one, but he's found his range again straight away. Looks ominous. You have to be prepared to beat Coric at his own game here if you're going to play this way. Now, that's going to be a difficult thing for Rinderknech to do.
30 left.
So what does that tell you? You have to use some variety, more variety, I think, and not lock yourself into these long, same-paced rallies.
Yeah, let's just remind everybody as well who he beat when he won Cincinnati. Mazzetti, Nadal, Bautista Agut, Felix, Cam Norrie, and Tsitsipas. So he can go toe-to-toe with the best of them from the back of the court. And, of course, served really well that week. I think he saved, memory served 16 of the 20 break points that he was up against. Only got broken 4 times that week.
Game, Team Croatia.
And he has looked almost impenetrable on his serve.
Yeah, I want to know what the coaching guru, Mark
Team Croatia
Philippoussis,
wins 5 games to
would
3.
advise him if he was sitting in the Frenchman's corner right now. I mean, how would you change your game? Because I think he needs, not change his game, but certainly change the amount of times he's trading blows, blow for blow with Coric from the back of the court. I mean, he can mix it up in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, first of all, he needs to get away from that cross-court battle with him backhand to backhand. That's the last thing he's got to do with Coric. I mean, that's a hell of a 1-2 punch there, but Look, as we said, first serves to get that first serve, and they set up that big forehand of his. But from the back, he's going to have to use his backhand up the line a little bit more to open up the court for himself and look to get into the net. In my opinion, he cannot just sit back and I mean, don't get me wrong, Rinderknech hits a big ball, but it's not doing anything for Coric. I mean, he's not fazed by it at all.
Yeah, if he goes backhand to backhand with him, he's playing into Borna's favourite wing.
Yeah, and have a look at the numbers there. You can see how much more pop on the backhand Coric has than Rinderknech, 128 versus 117. But on the forehand, that's the exchange you're talking about, Mark. That's the one he wants to get involved in. Definitely more firepower and the weaker wing of the Croat.
You can also mix the speed up, Robbie. You know, there's different ways to skin a cat, so to speak.
Another thing I believe, guys, is on Coric's forehand. He does take a big swing, and what he does, he kind of sets his forehand out in front and then kind of looks like a double pump. So I'm thinking going big into the forehand, rushing him a little bit more, you know, might help.
That's why he's the guru, Robbie. Well, his one-hander is nowhere near as good as his two-hander. That's for sure. So if he can press in there enough to and wide enough to make Borna take his left hand off the racket, that's an advantage too.
Game, Team France.
Well, I think to be fair, it was just the opening service game that wasn't great, but since then, he's managed to serve quite well, and he'll force Coric to serve this opening set out.
Guys, we also haven't seen Rinderknech. Has he hit one slice backhand, kind of a slice backhand into Coric's backhand, you know, it's even low, maybe to get him to take one hand off that backhand so he can get under it.
Yeah, that's a way he can take the pace off the ball too. I mean, you want to avoid what Mark said, toe to toe, backhand to backhand. That's the first step. If you can avoid that, the more times you can avoid that, the better, I think.
I mean, Mark, we've been talking about backhand speeds. Borna's actually second when you have a look back at the numbers from 2022 as far as backhand speed is concerned. We were commentating, we mentioned the fact that Dimitrov was #1, so this guy's right up there. And we know the spin control that he has on the backhand, so he really does get that blend of speed and spin bang on. He's certainly done that this evening.
Yeah, so it's a good combination to have because the speed, he can hit winners with the speed, but the spin allows him to control the ball and keep it in and make very few errors off it too. So it's a heck of a good shot, no doubt about that.
Now, total distance run. This guy's done a good job of moving Rinderknech around the court, not only left and right, but also up and back.
Rinderknech in the last game had made a slight adjustment where he's standing a lot further back and even on the second serve, which I like. But the thing is, when he's getting that shot, he's still hitting that big flat shot instead of, you know, maybe a heavier, higher ball. There's something different to look at.
Oh, that is neatly done.
Love 15.
Well, not a bad approach either. He's forced to do this, but he could have gone the other way, and it might have been better in retrospect to go to the backhand, but he didn't do a lot wrong there, Coric. That half volley was just too good.
That was Federer-esque.
this evening.
That was a good shot.
That's a change of speed.
I was thinking the same thing. Wow, he's just gone heavier, a little slower off the forehand, and then just pulled the trigger. Nice to see his thinking out there.
First time that Rinderknech has had a love 30 on the Coric serve. Hardly got a look at it.
Well,
15-14.
you know, part of hanging in there is hoping that your opponent will just drop off the standard slightly at some stage, and he's missed a couple here as Coric. That was a simple forehand. I think he just complimented Arthur too there before he served. Nice gesture. Well, they're fleeting, these opportunities here. Break point, second serve. This is the moment for Rinderknech if he's good enough. He kept going to the forehand, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Even with those difficult deep backhands, Rinderknech there was angling the ball down the line more to the forehand wing, and it drew a couple of big errors in that game.
But I'll tell you what, that is great tactical acumen. A lot of those shots he was hitting was not the correct, in inverted commas, pattern of play.
Yeah, well, not the highest percentage play by going down the line over the high part of the net, but he was trying to get to the forehand.
What interesting was there, guys, is those two forehands he missed were when he had to generate the pace on his own.
Yeah, and one was short too, wasn't it? So something different, Mark.
Lot 15.
Well, that was really a break against the trend of play,
Yep.
really. But a great effort from Arthur there.
Yeah, but you know, he's earned that break by making that tactical change.
I think that acceleration on the forehand at the 15-all point was a big part of that. He changed the pace, hit a cold winner from nowhere, and then drew a couple of errors. Maybe that shook Coric up a little bit. Ooh.
15-13.
There it is again, Mark. You picked it. It's an off-speed ball. That was a miss-hit from Rinderknech. It dropped a bit short and it was slower.
Yeah, he's got such an extreme grip on that forehand that, you know, he deals a lot better on the forehand if he's got pace coming at him. When he's got to create his own, he can get into trouble, and we've seen that. It's 3 unforced errors in a row off those slower balls.
Just shaking his confidence. Just help sow the seeds of doubt in his mind.
It's amazing, guys. 5 minutes ago, I did not see this coming. He was hitting the ball so clean, so big. But there you go, that change of spin on the other side, it has definitely affected things.
And there's a certain volley for the additional variety that you boys were talking about. And he has turned this around beautifully. 6-5, Rinderknech leads.
France leads 6-5.
Voda. Slobodno, Boki. Slobodno. Prošli game se ti vodiš 5-4. Povučeš se, usporiš ruku. Nema potrebe. Ti vodiš. Stišći, šibaj brzo. Kad se usereš, ubrzaj ruku. Idemo, šibaj servis, pići svaki poen. Igraš dobro.
Well, it's probably a good idea to have a look at how this rally unfolded. Look at the backhands initially. He's striking them beautifully. This just highlights how solid the backhand is. But this is when the Frenchman decides to exploit the forehand side. It's 2 in a row, Fitzy. Now it's 3 in a row.
Time.
4 in a row. That one should have gone cross-court. It went middle of the court, and guess what?
The one that went in the middle of the court at the end was slower. It was a bit mishit and shorter, and he just didn't have the rhythm to generate his own speed as much. So there's something there. The French team are onto it, and look for that to be exploited a bit more, if possible, by Arthur Rinderknech.
Yeah, we saw 5 forehands in a row having to be executed by the Croat.
You know, you don't have to go up the line with the backhand either. You can just go to the middle of the court a lot of the time.
15.
There's a bit more risk if you go from this angle straight up the line. I mean, that was a drop shot, but if you hit the ball up the line there, there's more that can go wrong. You only have to go up the middle of the court to the forehand if you think that's his weaker side. Oh, he handled that though. So they were two. One was an off-speed ball and one was a low slice, which after watching the previous game you'd expect Borna might have a little bit of trouble with, but he adapted there beautifully.
Well, I remember what he said to, I don't know if you did the post-match interview after his first match, and he said that Eva said to him, you need to go after your ground strokes. And forehand in particular, that's the one he seems to decelerate on. And I'm just wondering at the change of ends when she was chatting to him whether she told him the same information again, because the racket head speed was beautiful on that one.
It's good to have a French Open winner in your corner.
40 left.
No kidding. Yeah, the message was very deliberate. It was precise, tapping him on his leg. He was nodding his head. When Eva speaks, you listen.
Game, team pressure.
That was better. Steady the ship nicely there.
6 games all, tiebreak.
Okay, tiebreak time. I can't tell you that Borna's numbers, tie breaks in 2022 are outstanding. 15 wins, just 6 losses. That is very high, folks. Started pretty well here. It's a 71% success rate when he goes into a tiebreak in 2022. Frenchman's about 50-50. It's just in the positive.
Team pressure.
Is Eva getting a little bit animated there? She can sense a good tiebreaker coming. He's back on track, isn't he?
Guys, I've got to say, last few points he's gone back to how he started playing the match, and a lot flatter. At the end when he broke him, he had a little more shape on the ball, and now he's kind of gone back to hitting it just big and flat.
You're talking about Arthur now, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That is as good as it gets when you're talking about one-strike tennis.
3-1, team pressure.
Well, he has no option there. That he has to go for that. I mean, if this opportunity presents itself, you've got to back yourself. It's his best way of winning a point there, the off forehand coming in.
Left for serve.
And we like to call it hunting the third shot forehand. So many players do it well these days. playing to your strengths, the serve and the forehand, generally the two weapons for most players.
Team Croatia.
He's playing a good breaker, isn't he?
Team Croatia.
I can see why those stats are so high for him. He's just
Bravo.
does not give an inch at all, and you got to be so on. You got to almost play out of your comfort zone against him. Pretty much a perfect tiebreaker so far.
And it's so easy to get distracted by the fact that you should have served the set out. You had chances to do it. You didn't do it. But he hasn't let that affect him, has he?
No, his competitive edge has stayed the same, and he handled that loss at 5-4 on his serve extremely well. You know, maturely, put it behind him, went back to the drawing board.
Good eye.
6-1, Team Croatia.
You know, he definitely has made a great slight adjustment there, Coric. Definitely accelerating through that forehand a lot more. Those ones that he missed to give that break back, he was decelerating, but he's really gone after it. So Eva definitely coming through there as the captain.
Handful of set points.
Let first.
Well, he kept it tighter than the taxman's purse in that breaker.
By 7 games to 6.
That was top-tier stuff from Coric. He took the scenic route, but he's gotten there in the end. He wins the opener 7-6.
Bravo. Trebaš nešto? Bravo. Nauči si kad igraš svoju igru, lako je to reći. Ali ono, stalo se...
Well, a quick look at the numbers. Will tell us that first serve percentage from Coric is just dipped under 60. But you can see the effectiveness of that first serve. When that thing goes in, he's winning the vast majority of the points.
Well, I think that indicates, Robbie, that he's a bit more solid from the back of the court. So if he hits the second serve, it enables the Frenchman to attack it a bit more and do something different with the point. If he gets the first serve in, it's not always an outright winner, but it keeps his Frenchman at bay early in the point. So therein lies the percentage, I think, of winning first serves. Look, he's a solid player. He started so well. Just had 2 games where he missed a few balls, and it had a bit to do with his opposition. But in the end, I think it's fair to say he was the better player, wasn't he, in that set? Just.
Yeah, on the balance of play, you're right.
Idemo od početka, fokus, prvi servis, čvrsto. Ajmo, majstore, idemo, ajmo.
Time.
Well, you're speaking about a serve, it has been deadly accurate. Look at that. He's only lost 1 point when that first serve has gone in. Accuracy within 2 feet of the line. That's the green box that you see.
Team
Especially on the deuce side. Good accuracy equals good serving. Thanks, Borna. That's what we were talking about. That's 18 of 19 points won when he lands that first serve. Impressive numbers.
He handles his disappointments well too, doesn't he? Which is such an important thing for a competitor, a good competitor to do. That was a shot he should have made. Just missed it. He was disappointed, but just went straight about the rest of his business. Good attitude.
30-15.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that point, because he only won 2 of his first 10 matches back from injury, early stages of 2022. So it couldn't have been a good time, but he just kept plugging away, Fitzy.
Dangerous coming in there. Well, he just appears to have a mind like a steel trap, doesn't he?
Yep.
Like a mind that is just focused, doesn't lose its focus too much at all, handles disappointment well, and he's just a great competitor.
I mean, he came into Cincinnati with only 4 tour-level match wins. That's it, whole year.
And found his form and confidence.
He did do a smart thing in June, though. He dropped down after plenty of those losses and played a few challenges. He won the Palmer Challenger. It gave him a few matches, but still at tour level. Yeah, if anybody had Borna Coric on their bingo card going into Cincinnati, can you tell me what
they knew something we didn't.
Yeah, tell me what the Powerball numbers are going to be this week, please.
That was an interesting shot from Rinderknech there. He deliberately chipped that ball down the line a little bit short. That's not an easy ball to control with the speed it's coming at you.
Game, team Croatia. First game, second set.
I guess one of my questions to you is, would one of the reasons, or why would you get disappointed if you lose a close set, or if things aren't going well? What do you think causes the disappointment?
Well, I think it's all that work you've done for no result. And in the scoring system of tennis, you've done all that work for about an hour, had a chance to win, you lose it, you go back and start from scratch. But we all like to win.
I want to pick up on that point you made, because I think it's the most important point. And for me, that's why it always goes back to physical conditioning. Because I think if you're in peak physical condition, it affects you a lot less. Because you don't mind being out there for 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of Borna's greatest strengths.
Yeah, there's a lot of logic in that, because he is so fit and he knows he can stay there for 4 hours. So
disappointment doesn't affect him as much.
I tell you always do like to win that first set, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I've met someone yet who doesn't want to win it.
Absolutely. I mean, the odds swing overwhelmingly in your favor when you do win it to go on to win the match.
15.
Be careful, Arthur.
Game, Team France.
Some proper stick on that volley. Love the way he stamped the right leg on contact with the backhand volley. Testimony to the fact that all the weight is going forward when he made contact with the ball.
He's not one of the biggest servers in town, is he? But, gee, it's consistent and it's accurate. He's getting a lot of benefit from this first serve, is Coric. Just under the 200k mark there, but anything close to the line at that speed is generally a winner. That almost looked like it went around the post there from way out wide. Interesting attempt. Geez, accurate with that first serve.
14.
Yeah, definitely loves that one out wide in the juice, doesn't he?
Tell you what, the serve is competing with the backhand mark on his most valuable shot tonight.
Still only lost 1 point when that first serve has been landed.
Game, Team Croatia.
That's more like it.
Ball
That's what you
change,
saw
please.
in the early stages of the opening set.
Team Croatia leads.
Set
2
in
games to
2-1
1.
for Borna Coric.
Bravo, 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 bravo.
What's your take on the coaching that they were trialling at the second half of last year, Fitzy?
Yeah, look, I may be in the minority here these days because the game has to change and modernise, doesn't it, and move with the times, evolve. But I've always been of the opinion that it was a one-on-one sport. Now, in this situation, it's different because I'm a huge fan of Davis Cup, or certainly how it used to be. I'm not so much of a fan now. But that has a coach and always has had. So my take on the coach in this situation is that I really like it as it's a team event, and it adds something to the sport. I'm not sure about day in, day out, or week in, week out on the tour. What do you think? Because I always liked the fact that it was one-on-one, you against me, and that some guys can afford a good coach and some can't on the ATP tour.
Yeah,
Not sure. What
that's a fair point.
I can see from your body language you like the coach.
No, I just think it's become so difficult to monitor, Fitzy.
Yeah.
These guys coaching from the
that's
side
fair.
of the court.
Yep.
And
Well, they're not meant to, but they generally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New balls for Team France. And I think, you know, you've got so many players from different countries speaking different languages. If you're an English chair umpire, you don't know if somebody from France is just encouraging or actually giving information to their player. Very difficult to monitor. Of course, you can give encouragement as a coach, just not supposed to give information and tactics.
13.
It's saying that, I don't know about you, Flip, because you were in the box for Steph a fair bit, second half of the year. And I didn't think there were any drastic changes per se from a lot of the coaches.
No, I agree with what you're saying,
14.
Robbie. I mean, Fitzy, you know that there's always been coaching on the tour. I think others hiding as much, others blatantly. It was open to see and hear. But now it's funny. Now players are having full-on conversations with their box when then they can stand next to the box and talk to them. I guess it's evolved. He was going towards a direction. So it's something that I don't mind. At the end of the day, no matter what you tell the player, he's still got to go out there and serve and play and hit his forehands and compete. And it's something you can't coach, you know, as far as competitiveness, you know, and grit.
Couldn't agree with you more. For me, that is the overriding pointer to all of it.
You know, Flipper's turned into a wise old owl, hasn't he?
He has.
Who would have thought, Fitzy?
I knew you had it in you. I always knew.
for serve.
Oh, yes, please. That was delicious. Bon appetit.
Guys, it's just such a smart, heavy first serve there. Just a heavy kicker. Use it as the first. Doing so well in mixing this up, but I wonder if he's going to go back out wide here for his favourite serve. He was on it last time.
Interesting animation there. Maybe he felt like he was just losing a bit of concentration. He's forcing himself to reapply. Yeah, this is a serving exhibition. And you know, before this week, I probably wouldn't have thought that he would serve this well, Borna Coric. I know how good he is and how solid a player is, but the serve I didn't realise was quite this good.
Game, team pressure.
And this is a real performance here.
Yeah, you've got to remember, that's off the back of having surgery on that shoulder. It's more impressive. 3-2 second set. Yeah, those balls, I'm being told, are 9 games old.
That looks a bit like me standing next to you, Robbie.
That's the one on the left. That's the older one, and the new and improved version, 2020.
I didn't say which was which.
I
just
know. Neither did I. I tell you what, you can't take this guy anywhere, man.
You're like a modern-day Audie Murphy, you know, the movie star, war hero movie star. You're too young to remember him.
Yeah. Actually, guys,
had the baby face.
If I could interfere, if there could be a third ball, like the old one they used to use at Wimbledon, the white ones, that's more Fitzy's.
Well, if you're a fan of Team France and you're looking for a silver lining to Rinderknech losing the opening set, well, I can tell you that last year he was pretty impressive when having to come back from being a set down. Top 10 in that department. Did so on 8 occasions. Did Arthur, after losing the opening set, ended up winning the match. Were actually 4 players that were better than him.
15.
Karen Hashanov, Diego Schwartzman, Felix, Auger Aliassime, Andrei Rublev all won 11 matches after losing the opening set.
30-15.
And the player with the best match win percentage after losing the opening set is Nick Kyrgios, if you can believe that. Yep, 10-8 he was. One of the reasons why Kyrgios had such a successful season, he was able to turn matches around.
Well, I think it's good for him, good for his mind there, Rinderknech. Win an easy game. He's had to battle on a lot of his service games, and to win one quickly there and revert the pressure back was well called for at this stage of the match from him, I think. I mean, I'm almost out of superlatives for his serve tonight. It's his first double fault, by the way. Do you sense, Mark, down there that Arthur is really prepared to take more risks now? I mean, he's finishing points a little quicker, making a few more errors, but because he's going for more?
Yeah, he's hitting the ball. I mean, I would like some more shape on that forehand there. You know, there's just such a fine line, Fitzy, in his ground strokes right now. It's like it's just over the net. It's a foot in the baseline. You know, there's not much margin. Wouldn't love to see him. You know, I'd love to see him mix up the play like he did when he broke him. I understand we've got a couple of unforced errors, and it's easier said than done.
Yeah, setting 4-3 for Team Croatia.
Dobro, onaj prvi na džus je bio tu good, da. Ali gle, na drugi kad odeš iza, onda ju duboko čvrsto odigre, jer ako mu daš kraću, on te stisne odmah, da. Da, opusti se, ti vodiš, znači ono... Nije hladno. Ti vodiš, znači nema grča, nema straha, samo slobodno, brzo preko nje, napadaj crtu, jebi ga, prvi reakcija, kako ono. A drugi kad se podmakneš, duboko. Čvrsto duboko. Ajmo, majstor, ajmo break. Ajmo.
I like that word, duboko. With the gesture, that was the heavy ball. I reckon that means heavy ball. Duboko.
And she mentioned, how about a break right now, too?
Time.
Yeah, out from their respective corners. As Jimmy Connors described the sport, it's like boxing at 90 feet. It's been a good contest.
Jimmy had a jab or two.
Not just...
He could box.
Yep.
He's really going after the balls early in the rally here at the moment, though. That can pay dividends, or it can cause a bit of havoc in his own results. So it's a fine line you tread.
Left, first serve.
Yeah, it was long. Definitely long.
Love 13.
He actually went down the middle with that forehand.
Requested the replay of the call.
Now this missed comfortably. This one I feel confident that it was out by quite a few centimetres. But with the ball before, not by a long way, but significantly. Ball before he went down the middle, gave Coric a chance to hit that high lob. So this is a dangerous moment.
Oh, just got the compass wrong there, Coric. He got there with time to spare.
Pretty good volley there. Not as his best, but pretty safe under pressure. You can tell that he's got some feel at the net there, the way he opened the racket face.
13.
Some serious angle on that one.
Tough to defend against shot making like that.
Deuce.
This is what we saw plenty of in the opening 7 games. Seamlessly changing direction from the cross-court ball to the down-the-line one.
Advantage. Team
Hammered
Croatia.
Rinderknech's backhand into submission there.
Yeah, the ultimate defender on the backhand side. Ability to when you're defending with a particular stroke, turn the point around with it and eventually win the point. It's exactly what he did there.
Let first serve.
And you can see he does it a fair bit, this Coric. Not on that occasion.
Deuce.
Guy knows how to volley, Edouard Roger-Vasselin. A very decent singles career. He's been a standout on the doubles court. He would have liked that technique, pattern of play.
Advantage, Team France.
Good effort there. There was mounting pressure on the Frenchman.
4 games in.
Here from the camp, and I think his coach, good positive play. Our Team France are 1-0 down in this tie, thanks to Donna Vekic beating Alicia Cornet in the opening match earlier this evening. Good feel, good peripheral vision.
15.
I really like the colors of the Croatian flag. It's so unique. It stands out straight away. There's the checkered red and white. You can see it a mile away. Guys, have a look at how narrow the stance is of Rinderknech when he returns serve. It's quite unusual. Oh, the good returners return off a wide base.
God, he's very, reminds me of Andy Roddick, a little similar to Andy, the way he starts before he returns, but then he does a nice big split step and gets set.
Yeah, good shout.
Andy had the narrow stance on his serve too.
Mm-hmm.
Game, Team Croatia.
Next up coming back, a heavy kicker has been working a treat. He's edging a little closer to the finishing line at 5-4 in the second set.
5 games to 4.
Well, why don't we head out to in my spare time. It looks like a beautiful spot.
You can go through Fremantle and then go out to Rottnest Island. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Well, we've seen some good tennis on the stadium court today. Early in the day, it was Alison van Uytvanck with a good win over Despina Papamichael of Greece. Tsitsipas beat Goffin. Boy, did he play well. 3-2. That was the Belgium-Greece tie. And this evening, it's France and Croatia. Good shot making from both players, but a question, Coric has had the edge.
A lot of players at this level would get around and try to take that second serve on their forehand. Not so, Borna. That's an indication that he feels so confident on the two-handed backhand wing. He almost did everything perfectly here, didn't he, the Frenchman? Good serve and volley. Nice compact swing there, just overplays it slightly. It's a fine line.
Just going back to that previous point, you've got to be careful when you volley cross-court from there as well.
Yeah.
Because he's actually made contact with the ball from the center of the court, so the angle that you have to work with is not as big as what you think it might be.
He wants to finish it here, doesn't he? Does Coric. Very keen.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, just that body language, just looking at his camp over there and saying, this is it, this is the one. 2 points away now.
Oh, wow. Well, that's what he did in his previous singles game.
That was up against Surrendalo, wasn't it?
Yeah, when it got close and on all of the big points, gee, he served well. And it's starting to come to the fore here again. Whoa, keep the change out of that. Dangerous, a big heavy serve into that two-hander. He didn't quite get it close enough to the line here.
Advantage Team France.
He's had a real purpose in his step this evening, as Borna. Like a caged lion, walking back and forth, getting that towel.
It's tight here. He's hanging on, the Frenchman, isn't he?
Team France.
A couple of the shots I thought were going to go long, but just some good depth.
Game, Team France.
Really gutsy effort there. He deserves to prolong this match a bit further.
5 games.
Oh, he's got away with it.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't quite do enough with that forehand approach if you're going to go to that wing. But he gets away with it.
Oh, he has crushed that. Beautiful combination of shots. It'll get your teammates off their feet.
Guys, after that point, Coric just from the corner of his eye, a long stare towards the French team bench. Interesting. Yeah, nice comfortable hold, just what you want as you get towards the tail end of a set. Coric will sit down with a 6-5 lead.
guess the question is, will this be the final countdown for Arthur Rinderknech? Or will he be able to let this contest continue further? Make this contest continue further. Next time he goes to his bags, it'll either be to pack them or to get ready for a deciding set. Scup had an outstanding tiebreak in set number 1. Did not miss a ball.
Inevitably looking like another tiebreaker, isn't it? So you gave us the stats on Borna Coric's tiebreakers in the year to date.
Okay.
And it was heavily in favour of victories. He's got another one under his belt after the start of this match, so
yeah,
you'd have to pick him to be favoured in that tiebreaker. Not there yet.
Guys, I want to go against the grain. I want to go the Rinderknech in the tiebreaker.
He likes coming from a different angle.
Game, Team France.
Who are you going for, Robbie? You're the tiebreaker of the commentators.
6 games total, second set, tiebreaker.
Okay, I think I'm going with Borna to close it out in straights here.
2-1 here, Mark.
You're on your own, Flip.
I like those numbers.
Okay, let's see how this one shakes out.
The beauty of the tiebreak. What an invention this was many years ago.
That's your general knowledge, Mark. Who was the inventor of the tiebreak?
Team Croatia.
Give me a second so I can get out Google. No idea, Robbie. Was his name happen to be tiebreaker?
I saw him stand up at Newport, Rhode Island once and acknowledge the crowd when a tiebreaker was being played.
Tell us his name.
Well, you deserve to do that.
Jimmy Van Allen. And who invented the tiebreak in tennis.
He's left a legacy, hasn't he?
Yeah, no kidding.
He's missed 3 of those in the last few minutes. High bouncing balls to the backhand wing on the first return.
It's very unlike him. defense. Ultimate defending.
2-1.
Yeah, he's a hustler.
Team Coric.
Gutsy effort there from Coric to return those balls, get back into the point and draw the error. That's the type of tennis that can win big. If you win those in these moments, you can win matches. Good anticipation, wasn't it?
Oh, wasn't it just? Could have so easily given up on that backhand smash, but he didn't.
Gosh, he's hit that serve well tonight, hasn't he?
It just reminds me so much of a Paddy Rafter back in the day. Stefan Edberg loved that fast, heavy kicker too, didn't he?
He was like a rash all over the net.
Yep.
Left, second set. Team Croatia.
Got a stiff left hip at the moment. It looks like Coric, he's trying to stretch it. Gee, that body does some work, doesn't it?
He's such a good competitor.
Team Croatia.
You really feel for Rinderknech to have a chance here. He's got to hold another one. He's got to win both of these service points, surely. The way Coric has been serving. It does take a long time sometimes. You know, he appears to be coming out too late at the change of ends, but he's coming out when the umpire's telling him to. Coric is early, but on a situation like that, he does take a long time. Partly due because in the normal tour events, they'll go to their chair right near the umpire's chair, and it's quicker then. So it takes a long time to get from his box down the other end. Big point here.
Well, he's been awarded for being brave. Totally committed to the cause.
Team Croatia.
There was an opportunity there, though. The Frenchman missed it. It came straight to his forehand. His better wing.
Team Croatia.
He's peppered Rinderknech with the heavy kicker out wide. He throws for that ball toss, but then just wraps his wrist around the right side of the ball to get it down the tee. What a way to bring up match point.
Team Croatia.
Borna Coric.
By 2 sets to love. 7-6, 7-6.
With 2 watertight tie breaks. 7-1 and 7-2 respectively. And he puts Team Croatia in a very strong position this evening by beating Arthur Rinderknech 6-6. It means that Team Croatia now has a 2-love lead and in prime position in Group F. Oh, Fitzy, what do you make of that performance?
Well, I thought it was very, very solid, impressive, and I'm doubly impressive with the way Borna served. I didn't realise it was that good. It's not the biggest serve in the world, but gee, he served consistently, accurately near the line, and look at the respect he has for Iva Maioli there and his own coach. This team event really brings the best out of some people, doesn't it?
Yeah, nicely said, Fitzy. He was good. I mean, just to highlight that point that Fitzy made about the serve of Coric. He only lost 3 points when that first serve went in, 40 out of 43. And remember, this is a guy who's come off shoulder surgery. He was out of the game for a year. And Dr. Alchek has done some good work there in New York. That shoulder is better than ever. Dropping the hammer. Playing some great tennis when it mattered most. Good vibes around Team Croatia. It's been a good past couple of months for them. Feeding off the energy of doing so well in the World Cup. They've come here and they've played some rock-solid tennis. And I think Borna is just about ready to have a chat courtside with Mark Philippoussis.
Well, Borna, congratulations.
Thank you.
Very impressive match. I can see how much it means to you. Donna gave you a 1-love lead, now you've taken a 2-love. Tell me exactly what that means to you.
Yeah, obviously, it just does mean a lot to me as well. I have to say also, you know, it does feel like I'm actually playing at home with this unbelievable crowd over here. So yeah, that just makes it, you know, even sweeter for me, and obviously I'm just very happy with the win as well.
So tell me, last year was a very interesting year, coming back from an injury, not being able to play too many matches, and all of a sudden, before the US Open, had that incredible run in Cincinnati. What exactly did that do? Having that time off, how much did you miss the game? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I know. I already said a couple of times, first couple of months, which I didn't play actually. I just didn't mind it, to be honest, because I was on the sea with my friends and I was enjoying, you know, in the Croatia. All of the people here also know how that we have also a very nice coast. So I was just enjoying my time because I've been on the tour for a very, very long time. But then obviously I started to miss it after I would say 4 months probably, and I just started to panic as well. So, you know, coming to the Cincinnati and also winning it, it just showed me that I can play on the same level like I was playing before, which for me was very, very important, because I was not sure if I'm going to be ever able to play again. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you got the Croatian fans out here. I'm sure they were incredibly happy with what they saw. But again, incredible hitting. And one thing that's incredibly impressive is you're up a break in the first set, and you ended up breaking you back, but you kept your composure and played an incredibly impressive first tiebreaker. And Your tiebreak, I think, is like 75% when you go into them. So you
don't say it now, because then I know next one I'm going to lose it for sure. So I cannot.
Well, that was last year. That was last year.
Okay,
that
great.
was last
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. Please.
But it was an absolute pleasure just watching your ground streaks. You came out on fire. One question I have for you: you came out on fire, hitting the ball so well. Normally, people like to change their rackets when they have new balls. You changed it one game before. Do you normally do that?
I don't, but I always lose on my serve when I serve the new balls. I don't know why. It's very, very weird. I actually serve, I would say, probably better with the old balls. So I just decided to change my racket a little bit before, so I can play with it a little bit more and just have the feel of it. But yeah, it's something which I'm still searching for, and I'm also not sure what to do. Maybe you can tell me, because you've been serving well. So
you did not miss a ball with that racket. So my advice is, do not change anything.
I will not. Thank you.
But again, congratulations. Go back and enjoy the night with your team and get ready for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, guys. Hvala puno. Hvala.
Yeah, nice chat with Mark Philippoussis. Don't fix it if it ain't broke, right?
Good advice.
Well, I think we'll have a look at some of those numbers that he was able to post in this match. Have a quick look at the summary. But I think, given the start that he's had here at the United Cup, he'll be feeling pretty good about himself.
Yeah, I think, look, he deserved that win. I mean, 18 unforced errors, it sounds a lot, but not over 2 sets. And the amount of balls he misses, you feel like you can count them on one hand. He's so consistent with those ground strokes, and especially on the backhand wing. But also, when he gets his first serve into play, it takes away the opportunity for the opposition to attack his second serve. And that just proves that he's so good from the back. If he avoids someone attacking his serve early in the point, he's very hard to beat.
So just confirmation of what went down this evening. It was Lisa Cornet and Donna Vekic at locked horns, and Donna came out on top for Team Croatia. And in the men, it was Borna Coric with a straight set win to give Team Croatia a 2-love lead. And of course, right now they're in pole position, as I suggested. They won their opening tie against Argentina comfortably, and their win-loss record is a very healthy 7-0. So they are almost guaranteed a spot in Wednesday's semi-final. Well, that's us here from Perth. I hope you enjoyed the tennis this evening. We certainly did. From Mark, Fitzy and myself, have a great evening, and the entire team looking forward to your company again tomorrow. Good night.